Hey y'all, so I'm back with another video. This time I had to come and do my commentary on the whole Nipsey Hussle situation because y'all know the transcripts from the grand jury testimony was released the other day. So I'm gonna be breaking down what I've read so far. Now, if you're just tuning in to my channel, this is news for your ass. And most of my videos have been on Malia Davis. And Malia, baby girl, I haven't forgot about you. I'm still gonna come back with a couple videos regarding that whole situation, but I just had to come and do some commentary on Mr. Nipsey Hussle. So y'all keep rocking with me, and I'm gonna just keep trying to break down, what I know. Again, I always live by the Players Club rule, never trust anybody's information but my own, and y'all feel free to check behind me after I report to y'all what I have researched. So anyway, let's go ahead and dig right into this whole situation. So again, like I said, the grand jury transcripts were released the other day, and I had so far, like I said, it's a 515 page document, so I haven't read all 515 pages yet. So like I said, keep rocking with me, and I'll upload a few more videos after I've read the document in its entirety. But I'm just reporting right now on what I've read so far because it's just too much. I had to come and make a video. So the first thing that I wanted to point out was that y'all know that Eric Holder has been appointed a public defender. And his new public defender that he has is a woman by the name of Lowynn Young. And I did a little bit of research on her, and to my surprise, back in 2014, she had represented a guy by the name of Dustin Kinnear. And believe it or not, his mother was saying that he was in and out of mental institutions, and he basically, that was his defense. He was trying to use the insanity defense, saying that he's just, spent several times in mental health facilities, and he's had a tendency, towards violence for a long time. So that's the type of defense public offender that he has right now. So y'all know where they're trying to go with that. They're going to try to plead temporary insanity and say that he's crazy or whatever. So I know that's where they're going with that. But another thing that I wanted to point out was that the judge in this case, when he was releasing making the transcripts be unsealed, he stated that we live in a society that's moving away from the printed page. And when he said that, he also urged the deputy district attorney, who is John McKinney in this case, he specifically said to him to keep a lid on the videos. And he said videos plural, which lets me know that there is more than one video that the prosecution has in their possession. They've just shown us, the public, that one grainy ass video that we've all been trying to dissect and figure out for the past few months. But clearly, the judge states that there are more than one video that they have in their possession, and he was urging the prosecutor to make sure that he kept a lid on that, and that the videos don't get out into the public. So that's some information, I guess that we got to look forward to too. There's more videos in this case. So I wanted to dig into this little ratchet ass bitch Baylette Stars, because she is, I guess, the prosecution star witness in the case from what I've been reading. And now, mind you, they stated that she testified anonymously in this case, and she testified with an immunity agreement, which means that she can't be charged for any crime now or in the future, basically for telling them this bullshit ass story that she told them. So I started reading her testimony, and she stated that she had no idea that Eric Holder was a gang member, nor that he was responsible for shooting Nipsey Hussle, even after he ran back to her car carrying two handguns, seconds after she heard gunshots. She then later testified that she attempted to speak to a police officer after she had saw the news that Nipsey Hussle had been murdered. She said she went up to a police officer and tried to tell him what she knew, and a police officer told her, quote, "Well, don't worry about it. You don't listen to the news." And I'm curious to know exactly who that fucking police officer was and where she was when she ran up to him and asked him this after she saw the news. So, bitch, you never said. So, what did you do with Eric Holder during this time? Because you also went on to state that you were the person that drove him to and from the crime scene. So, how did you not have an inkling that he's the one who shot this motherfucker? So, you didn't put two and two together that he ran back to your car carrying two guns, told you to speed the fuck off or he was gonna slap you, which is some bullshit because he should have slapped your dumb ass just for being stupid. But he was gonna slap you, so you sped off. But you didn't put two and two together that he shot Nip till after you saw the news. Bitch, get the fuck out of here. And I can't believe that they traded this bullshit ass testimony that she gave them for immunity. And again, like I said, she stated that he had two handguns. And so a lot of people that were making videos and, they were saying that they believed that it was two shooters, they were onto something because apparently there were two guns that were used in the assassination of Nipsey Hussle. However, I just still don't believe that Eric Holder was the only shooter at the scene, but we'll get into that a little bit further on down the line. Right now, I want to go back to something that the police said, as well as the medical examiner when he testified in this case, and it was actually quite shocking to me. So, the police stated that when they found Eric Holder, he was carrying two handguns that were similar to those used in the killing. It was a silver revolver and a black semi automatic. And that was their statement at that time. So the medical examiner went on to state that, and this was his testimony, he said that Hussle was shot at least 10 times with rounds piercing his lungs and severing his spinal cord. And I was like, oh gosh. And so basically, he was shot more than six times, but I'll tell you where they came up with that six shit in a minute. So the police also went on to state that they recovered eight shell casings from a 40 caliber pistol at the scene, and they got the other six bullets that were pulled from Nipsey Hussle's body. So when it was being reported that Nip was shot six times, I believe TMZ shady ass put that out there because see they're privy to the medical examiners reports and police reports before we ever are. So their dumbasses got it wrong. They are out putting it out there that Nip got shot six times when he was actually shot over six times. Because if you add up the eight shell casings that they found at the scene and the six in his body, that's 14. So he was shot well over six times, but because they recovered six shots from his body, six shell casings from his body, they assumed that he was just shot six times. See, they always putting out false fucking information. That's why I don't rely on them for shit because they're unreliable news source. That's what the fuck their new name should be called. But anyway, we'll get in their ass on a whole nother video. Right now, we just want to get back to this bullshit. So the medical examiner that he was, said that he was shot over 10 times and they recovered, over 14 shell casings and yada yada yada. And so what I want to know is, excuse me, what I want to know is why and where did TMZ get the information about snitching, because this report also states, and they keep making mention about snitching. This whole conversation with Nip and Eric Holder was over snitching. But I want to take y'all back to something. If y'all recall, y'all remember when that young boy made that video to live, he got on his friend's live and he was saying that he's the one who shot Nip. Well, I didn't even catch it the first time I listened to that bullshit, but I had went back to listen to what he said, and he stated, yeah, I went up there and I shot Nick because he said I was snitching. So, I went on ahead and shot him because he said I was snitching. I feel like that's where they got that bullshit from, that little boy. And I'm going to tell you, I feel like he plays a key part in this situation too, because all this shit was set up and orchestrated. They used him as a distraction, but we didn't really catch and pay attention to what he was saying. But shout out to my man Tanique Reviews, because he had caught that and he made a video about that before, and nobody even really said anything else about it. He was the only one that I had seen reported on that. But if you pay attention to that young man's live, he said that, yeah, Nip said I was snitching, so I shot him. And I feel like that is where that scenario came from, because Cowboy, when we heard him, he said, yeah, it was some old, whatever the fuck he said, because I ain't believe nothing he said anyway, but it just wasn't matching up. But now I feel like that statement came from that little boy's live, and TMZ and them ran with that. They're the ones who put that shit out there, because I still don't believe that was the conversation that he and Nip had. And until I see the footage of that, him actually having a conversation with Nip, then I don't believe none of that. But again, y'all, like I said, I'm gonna keep reading these 515 pages, and then I'll upload another video and give my commentary on what I find next. So y'all keep rocking with me. This is news for your ass.